Andy Scott, Grimsby, was it a huge boost in confidence or confirmation of what you knew or suspected already?
Well, we knew it was going to be a tough one, so you know, it was always going to be interesting to see how we cope with a side that, you know, was obviously unbeaten and been very strong over the last few years. So to come away with a win and, you know, do it in the manner that we did in the second half was very encouraging. You know, we made a couple of changes, so it's showing that we've got strength in depth, and the subs that we've got and people on the bench can make a difference, which is something that's vital.
As you said straight after the game, you know how good the players are, and you know how good the team can be. Is there a case of managing expectations, or is it still early days?
Yeah, we're not getting carried away. You know, we effectively finished on 61 points last year. You know, we've changed a few people around, but you know, we're still building. We're still building, and we're not, you know, trying to run before we can walk. We know that, you know, as good as we are at the moment, you know, we cut up injuries or suspensions, you know, it puts us in a difficult position again. So, you know, we're not going to get carried away. We're just going to keep attempting to win every game and see where that takes us, and see how long we can go with players all being fit and well. And the longer that goes on, that breeds confidence, and you know, we keep pushing up the league and stay in contention. Who knows what can happen? You know, we've got to get to the turn of the year and then, you know, sort of see where we are. But you know, I think that's, you know, it's been well publicised that sort of, you know, the club wants to, you know, we're trying to consolidate this year, but that doesn't mean we're not going to try and you know, win games and try and get in the playoffs, because I think if we kept everyone fit the whole year, we'd have a chance of maybe sneaking in the playoffs. So that's our aim, and that's our aim every week. And the more games we win, and the more times we play well, and people play with confidence, then the better we're going to become as a group, and that might force us into the playoffs. And that's something that we're striving for. But we're not going to get carried away. We know that if you do that, you can fall foul very quickly. We've got some really tough games coming up, none more so than the next two. You know, we had probably last year, the Halifax game was a real sort of milestone for us in terms of identifying that we weren't strong enough away from home, and we weren't, you know, capable of dealing with the physical threat that this league gives you, and some teams, you know, put in front of you. And really after that point we sort of changed things around a little bit. We started to pick up more points away from home, so it'd be interesting to see how we cope this Saturday against a very, very strong side who've obviously only lost last week, Bristol Rovers, in the last minute, and you know, are really, really good at home. Very powerful, big, strong outfit, and the Aspin's done very well there, and they were up there last year. So another team who we expect, you know, to have a really tough game against, and you know, we'll see how we can play at home against Grimsby, and you know, against good football inside, but also see how we can cope away from home with a different style and in a different environment. And so it's every week's a different test of character.
And they are 15 games unbeaten at the show. I think they only lost one at home throughout the whole of last season. But as you keep saying, you're going for the win.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think the way that we play and the way that we set up and the players that we've got, we should be doing that every game, and there's no reason not to do that. Obviously, we have to deal with the strengths and the threats that the opposition pose, and Halifax will give us a lot, you know, more threat than most teams. You know, I saw Lincoln play at Barnet, and Lincoln were a very, very good side, and beat Barnet, who are obviously top of the league, and Lincoln are a very good side, and Halifax beat them at home 3-2, and you know, a lot of set pieces. You know, I think nearly 2/3 of their goals have come from set plays. You know, we have not done so well at set plays and defend them, so we're going to have to be on our guard on Saturday and make sure that we do that side of it and the nitty-gritty properly. But with the attacking players that we've got and the ability we've got in our side, we can create chances and score goals, and we'll be doing that. Last year we went up there, we didn't really have a threat going forward, and you know, we never looked like we were going to trouble them defensively. But this year we expect a lot more, and we're going up there with a lot more confidence.
And the away form, probably since Alfreton, the 4-1 win there, the away form from last season and carried into August has been really good.
Yeah, and that's just, you know, we keep saying about in the summer about recruiting men and recruiting players at the right age, and I think that, you see in players who've got leadership qualities and the ability to approach games in the right manner and not be fazed by it. And you know, obviously your home form is key, but if you can pick up some good points away from home, then it propels you to the higher echelons of the league, and that's where we want to be. And you know, to make sure that we have, you know, the mental strength to go to places and not be fazed by it, and to approach the game properly, and believe that we can go out there and win it is key to it. And you know, I think we've got a group that, you know, I've spoken to several of the lads and the atmosphere from who were here last year, and they feel that, you know, we've really got a belief that we can go and win every game, and that's probably different from last year where we were going to the tougher sides and thinking, well, if we get something here, it would be a good result. So we've stepped on a little bit in that regard, and but it's about making sure that we keep doing that for every game, and if we do get a knockback and we get, you know, a poor result, we respond in the right manner, and we did that easily. You know, we had obviously a bit of a blow at the end of that, but we responded very well. Went to Telford on a Sunday and put in a very professional performance. So, you know, that was a big sign for me that we're capable of producing those sorts of performances after, you know, a bit of a knock, and that's what we're going to need throughout the season. It's about making sure we keep plugging away and ticking the points total over. And
you talk about men and resilience and those battling qualities, but you're second bottom of the disciplinary table, or second top, whichever way you look at it. That maturity and discipline must be pleasing as well. It's something that I've always had a big thing with whatever team I've been at. You know, I think that when you're giving a few fouls away, it means that you're not overstretched. It means you've got players that understand and, you know, do the right thing, and it also means that the opposition haven't got a chance to smash the ball into your box. Yeah, we can't afford suspensions, so, you know, yellow cards are vital, that we don't get yellow cards and red cards. But equally, we've been averaging just around 7 fouls a game, which is second best in the league, which is massive. You know, when you look at other teams, some of them have got nearly double what we're doing. So if you think there's, you know, probably 14, 15 chances to put the ball into the opposition box, and we're only giving away 7 of those opportunities, that's key. You know, and set plays do win games, and a lot of teams in this league do rely on those, and certainly on Saturday it's going to be key that we don't give away silly fouls, and we don't make rash decisions and dive in and stay on our feet, because it's an opportunity for them to put the ball in the box with good delivery. So, but that's something that we want to maintain throughout the season. I think that, you know, it's shown that in the past that, you know, if you teams that have got promoted and teams that have done very well in the league are more or less down the bottom of the amount of yellow cards they get and the fouls they give away. So that there's some correlation between the two, and that's something that we're really keen on, and we impress to the players. And this squad are showing versatility and depth, and were you happy with a quiet deadline day?
Yeah, very happy. Yeah. To be honest, it amazes me how we haven't had phone calls about players, and you know, you speak to coaches and managers and after the game, and they mention, you know, several players in our team, you know, the ones that you expect them to, but you know, Brett's always one who's, you know, naturally with the goals he scored, and it's amazing. I think he scored 33 goals now in last season and this year. It's a fantastic record, and you know, but we want to keep him here. You know, people like Jaden and Jordan are young, energetic, and like the modern day player, and are really coming into their own. And you don't get phone calls, and it just shows that how poor the scouting is in the Football League. I think that they should come down to this level, because there's nothing between League 2 and this level, and certainly players that can play at this level can play in League 1 as well. You saw Lee Gregory go straight to Millwall. We've seen other players in this level go comfortably into League 2 sides. But we want to do it with all the shots out. But it doesn't mean that we haven't got assets here, because we have. But teams and scouts are too lazy or think that playing at this level's too easy. Well, you know, we know that we can give any team a good run for their money in League Two. We showed what we could do against Wimbledon. Certainly in the first half, we're a much better side. You know, and they're up the top end of League Two. So I think if anything, it gives ammunition to the talk of having 3 come up from the conference, because I think it's about time that happened. But you know, keeping our players is important to us, and the fact that the phone didn't ring was very, very pleasing.